We are now live once again, ladies and gentlemen, with Rock 'em Up, Stack 'em Up, Rock 'em Up, Stack 'em Up, Rock 'em Up, Stack 'em Up. I hope that all your delivery drivers are making money out there. Those that didn't catch the replay, didn't catch the live stream, be sure to catch the replay. We want to touch on a subject, ladies and gentlemen, that I should have put out last week, but we were so busy in those Memphis streets. The title, which I probably will change later on, but we're going to go with this topic here. Grubhub drivers, earnings and incentives, base pay, bonus pay, and missions pay, ladies and gentlemen. Um, I had a subscriber. He subscribed to my channel, and when he subscribed to the channel, he made a comment of the video. Wasn't negative, wasn't positive, but he subscribed to the channel. I can't remember what was the comment, or did he make a comment, but he subscribed to the channel. Like I always do, look at the subscribers, get information. If they're a content creator, and everything, we welcome them aboard. We welcome everybody aboard, but we definitely, give a little bit, at- you know, privilege to content creators that subscribe to the channel. Special shout outs and salute and all of that. And I want to use his content here, ladies and gentlemen, as educational information, as well as give him a salute for the ideal that we do in this video today. And then we'll do the fair use thing and all of that. I told people that when I get with content creators and everything, I will be collaborating with them on some of their key points in their video, that I can resonate with, you can resonate with, and it makes sense to everybody, because there's a lot of back and forth action going on with this versus that. But is this versus that putting any money in your pocket? You see, that's the question. This versus that, is it putting any money in your pocket? So this is what we're gonna do right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna try to type him in up here at the top here. Let's see. Now this started acting weird. All of a sudden it was working. All right, now I got to move around. See, can I get this to work? All right, there we go. Come on now. Now I'm gonna act up. Let's try this here. There you go, right there. I can go right to him. Right here. First of all, we're gonna go ahead and hit that right quick. Come on now. Now I'm gonna have to move around. Every time I get the show going, this kind of stuff goes on. All right, did we hit him? Yeah, here he is right here. We're gonna go ahead and hit that. But I gotta move around the room to make this work.
I got a lot of upper mobility, and I just haven't really been saving. But I'm just trying to get by. So like, I'm cool with a lot of people complaining, and I'm cool.
Yeah, something wrong with this here.
I'm trying to use for a little bag, and my numbers are pretty decent. Like you see my numbers, you know, I've been doing this for a long time. 4.9 rate.
All right, we're gonna stop it right there, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give a shout out to Grubhub Billionaire, and thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for turning me on to some information that's on Grubhub that I will also address in my market. We're gonna let the people hear what you are saying your experience was in Grubhub November the 3rd, 2025, right there, as you can see it there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna go ahead and play him. I'm gonna turn it up. We're gonna turn it up right there, and we're gonna hear what he has to say.
Yeah, blase. Bro, honest to God, I wake up, bro. I wake up, I look at my phone, I'm like, well, make my little cheese to pay my rent. And Grubhub's offering this promotion. Look at this promotion. This is one of the craziest promotions I've ever seen from a delivery app. Deliver 57 orders without skipping more than 34 total, earn $114. So you've been in the game a long time. It's ups and downs to this, ins and outs. Sometimes they do promotions to try to motivate people to take less desirable orders so that they don't lose money or that it's more beneficial to them. But being a person that's done delivery as long as I have been, I've noticed that unless you're like desperate, it's really almost always in a benefit to them because they try to get people to take orders that they would normally take to put themselves at risk. Like, and I've tried to get shorter bonuses. Like they don't have any on here, but I did one the other day. It was like get an extra $30 to complete 8 hours within excuse me.
Let me stop it right there. I hope that you can still see the screen. Let me give me a little drink of water here. All right, let me look at my tablet right quick. Greetings to those that are viewers today and those that will be viewers on the replay. We give greetings to you. Happy holidays, season greetings. That's what we're doing right now. Let me go ahead and look at the tablet right quick. I got to do some testing because I don't know if you guys hear me or not. So let me go ahead and do this right quick, which I should have did at first. We're going ready to do it right now. And let me see. Let me do it like this here. All right, all right. I want to see, can everyone hear us? Okay. See, they can. There you go. We good. We good now. I always do a check like this here. Some people say it's unprofessional, but I do what I can with the equipment that I got and the limited space that I have. Just like when we are delivery drivers, we do what we can with the vehicles that we have, and we make the most out of what we have with the equipment that we have. All right. Thank you again, Grubhub Billionaire. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for turning this to my attention. This will be the Grand Slam of the week. And he did this video off of a missions pay. And it was on November the 3rd through November the 9th. Okay, $114, 57 orders without skipping more than 34. Okay, he knew that he can be able to get that in a week's time. He can get that in a week's time. That's not an astronomical number that he can't get it in a week's time. All right. I get anywhere from 65 to 85 of Grubhub orders when it's popping out there. When there's not a large order of volumes, that number may fluctuate right there. Usually when I can get 65 to 85 orders out there in a week, ladies and gentlemen, I make pretty decent money. All right, let's talk about this thing here. There's a few things I want to talk about. Few key points I want to share with the audience. We are the Grubhub driver content creator right now and other gig apps as well. You know, we've been deactivated on a few of them. We deleted a few of them, but we still have access to talking about all those platforms if we choose to talk about it. All right, Grubhub mission, active mission, $114, 57 orders, 34 skips. He said something in that video that he never seen a mission pay as high as this one. I've never seen one as high as this one. So ladies and gentlemen, put in the comments down below, which area do you think he's in? Is he in Miami? Is he in Phoenix? Is he in New York? Is he in Philadelphia? Is he in, you know he ain't in Memphis, Tennessee, so it's don't need me putting that out there. There's one more I want to put out there for a sec. Is he in LA? Leave it just like that right there. Put it in the comments in the live stream or put it in the comments on replay. That's the Grubhub trivia question for this week. All right, so he said something that made me think. Why all of a sudden Grubhub giving these missions pay? One, it's the winter season. Number two, it's the holiday season, right? Number three, there's a lot of undesirable offers, not being fulfilled, especially when there's an increase of high volume of nothing but undesirable offers. We talking about reverse orders. We talking about some people call under the water orders or upside down orders. Okay. And low ball offers that's not going to make any profit at all. I'm going to talk about my experience as well, but we are right now addressing some of the key points that he's talking about in this video. So those that multi-app and you use Grubhub from time to time, do you have to be on a schedule block to get this missions pay? Do you have to be in a higher tier, pro or premier, to get these type of missions pay? You know, or is it in certain geographic marketplaces and cities that have these missions pay, or is it a nationwide thing, statewide thing, or is it just an individual thing to where they try to get these individuals during the holidays that want to make that holiday money or pay rent, just like he was saying? As many times it is during rent time during the month that he's presenting this mission statement, November the 3rd through November the 9th. Okay. He's showing an active missions pay there. I hope that you can see it right there. Let's go ahead. I hope this don't act funny on us. See what else he got to say.
8 orders within like a 4-hour time frame, which is decent if you know what you're doing. But sometimes they're just like stuff, they just post stuff that just is unrealistic. Now, the craziest part about this promotion, bro, again, this is one of the largest bonuses I've seen over the longest time frame from any. And the craziest thing about this is then again, you know there's a ratio there. 57 orders without sticking more than 34 total. There's a ratio to that. And it's like a percentage of the orders that comes up. And I'm not bullshitting you, bro. I'm not lying on God or my mama. So so look, this is what I do, right? I go into Google and I find the ratio calculator. Okay, I find the ratio calculator, and I think this is the one I clicked. So I get in here. Yes, this is the one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to go into deeper dive of what he's doing. He's doing a ratio calculator, you know, on the percentage of you look at the rest of that video there. I'm going to leave that juicy part for you to look at. I'll put it in the link in the description. I'll put that link in of him, but I'm glad that he brought that out. Now I'm getting ready to talk about my experience. No, I never seen a mission pay as high as that. Okay, but I want to talk about. See, can we get off of him right now? Let's see, can we do that? Let's see, can we do this here? Hold on, this thing get ready to act up again. Okay, let's go up here. I clear him. Go up. Do this. Go back to my channel. If it let me, there we go, right there. We want to go to the right there and go up. All right. Grubhub earnings and incentives, base pay, bonus pay, missions pay. All right, what I want to do right now is I got some things I want to share in my receipt and all of that. I will have to do some clipping of certain things that have been said on the language there. We just do that. Reason why I share Grubhub content, I share my experience, right? In my market, right? Okay, but there are things that is different. Then there's things that are similar. You know, I said I was going to do a video with Dino, some of the things he said about multi-app and stuff like that. Some of the things that Kim Simon said and all that. That won't be in today's video due to the limit of the time. Plus, I need to talk about what I have experienced with these missions. All last week, I got mission pay. A total of 30 individual missions pay during the week. I completed, I know, maybe 6 out of 30. Why so low of a number? That's a good question. Some of the mission pay I wasn't even available online. You know, I got a busy schedule. I got a unique type of schedule. It looked like I have multiple schedules that I'm juggling, right? You know, taking care of family business and also trying to get in these streets to make money. So I had to set a schedule, you know, to be able to accommodate everybody's needs as well as mine. So sometimes I don't be as profitable. Yeah, what's going on with you as well, California Line Dash? Okay. We want to talk about this mission pay here. We want to talk about bonus pay and base pay. I suggested the Grubhub 3 months ago, between 3 to 6 months ago, that if they want these long distance orders complete, they want these long distance orders fulfilled. I got a video out there talk about navigating long distance orders on Grubhub. I may show it. It might not show in there, but we're gonna see what we can pick up off of here before I proceed on. Let's see what we got here. Right here. Proceed on. Let's see what we got here. Right here. Proceed on. Let's see what we got here. All right, let's do this. Grubhub long distance. Let me do this again, because I know it'll come on every few seconds. Let me try this real quick. Grubhub long distance algorithm. Navigating Grubhub long distance orders in 20 seconds. Let me try this real quick. Do it like that. Be sure to go there. Watch that video. Hold on. Got music and everything coming on. There we go. If I leave it here and don't put it back in search, a lot of that stuff goes on. All right, let me show you on my tablet what I'm talking about, because it's going to come on that first few seconds, give a preliminary view of what that video is about. And we want to go ahead and do it without doing all of that. Let me go here, because I want to show it. I'm going to put it also in my description as well. Let me look at the comment section right quick before I move on. California Line Dash. Good morning, fellow gig worker. Grubhub is not really active in my area compared to Doordash, Uber Eats, Instacart, and Walmart. Okay. A lot of drivers is experiencing that. It's the slowest app nationwide. Some markets is very lucrative for Grubhub. Pittsburgh, from what I understand, you can work Grubhub, you know, and make some money. Philadelphia, believe it or not, is also a good market too. I found out. Okay, but you got certain content creators said that people can't understand what's going on in different markets. That's not true. You can Google these things, ladies and gentlemen, and then you can go on that map, ladies and gentlemen. You can do research and homework and look at those restaurants and everything, ladies and gentlemen. And you can get with people, other drivers and stuff, and you can compare things in their market. You can get information like that, ladies and gentlemen, that can be actually factual, because you would do that if you were going to that market before you get there. So you can be able to dissect what's going on in another person's market. I done did it with quite a few drivers. They even tested me out, came, got in touch with me, made a phone call. Look, okay, if you good as you say you are about this here, what about my market? And next thing you know, boom, there it is. Wow, you know, man, you turned me on to some things I wasn't aware of in my market. So for the naysayers that don't believe that, I tell you what, March Madness coming up. We can challenge the DoorDash revolution on March Madness. As you do a ride along in your market, we can discuss your market on the next March Madness challenge of 2026. All right, I put it out there. Everybody knew I was going to do one, but they didn't know how I was going to do it. That's the challenge right there. Okay, if you feel like I can't understand what your market is, as you do a ride along on a conference call with your boy here, and I do a ride along with you, boom, you'll be amazed of the things that I will turn you on in your market. You see, I did it with a content creator in California. I did, I did it with a driver in Phoenix. Did it with a driver in Kentucky. Did it with a driver in Texas, Alabama, New York. You see what I'm saying? And I was still right here in Memphis, Tennessee, ladies and gentlemen. All the time, it ain't who you know, it's what you know. You see, so let's go ahead and do this right here. We're gonna go on and get into this here. And one thing that everybody got to understand, and then we're gonna go ahead and finish what we're talking about, is this here that everybody is experiencing low ball offers. Don't care what market you're in. Everybody is experiencing upside down orders. I don't care what market you're in. Everybody's experiencing customers not tipping. I don't care what market you're in. All right. The solution to the problem is understanding the demographics in your market and being able to make the right decisions in your market to turn money into profit. That means you got to constantly keep changing the way you do things because these apps keep changing the way they do things. Multi-apping is going to be a new era of multi-apping in 2026. Keep watching, keep paying attention. You're going to wind up being a believer. There's content creators now that's saying things I said 2 years ago, 2 months and 2 years ago. They saying it now. They was laughing at first, but they are saying it now. When I told people about OTA, understand what I'm saying. When I talk to people about OTA, check it out, on time arrival, I said that's going to be the next thing that's going to affect how the way drivers make money. It can be a game changer for others, and it can be a deal breaker for others. That's happening right now on these platforms. That's why they're shortening the arrival time, shortening the drop-off time. There's other content creators telling you about it. I'm not the only one, but I was one of the first you heard it from. Now, the future of multi-app in 2026. There should have been videos before these people went to the Doordash Roundtable. Oh yeah, I'm going to say a little bit about that because there's something strange going on. Your boy already know, but we're going to wait 2026 to talk about that. You see, multi-apping, you can check my videos out. I explain about juggling apps, the difference between juggling apps versus stacking your apps. There's two methods of multi-apping. The ones that refers to dirty stacking and dirty multi-apping falls under the category of juggling your apps. Stacking your apps, you're not dirty multi-apping or dirty stacking. There's the difference. Stacking your apps is being able to know in your geographic market. Grubhub popping in that city market right there. I can go to Grubhub before the end of my schedule. I take a reverse order. Not paying me enough money on Grubhub, but it's taking me in the area where I know Doordash finna get the popping where I can make that $100 in 2 hours. Okay, you got to know how to use certain things and not use certain things. You know, there are times we cannot use reverse orders. There is times I done learned how to use a reverse order to take me in the market, and I'm racking them up, stacking them up. It's not who you know, it's what you know in your market. Sometimes we are listening to a whole lot of misleading content out there that causes us to make wrong decisions in our market because we try to believe those that has a prestige swag to the platform. You gotta get in these streets, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta get with content creators that's get in the streets, does this every day. Those that does a whole lot of content on their channel, they're not in the streets like that there. I know, I've already tried. That's why I used to do live stream ride-alongs. See, when I'm out there, you see everything. There's no editing, there's no cutting, there's no fluff. You see it. Whatever goes down, you see it right now. We was the guy that did Take It to the Streets live morning show. You're looking at him right here. You see, a lot of drivers' content got challenged because of the things we did out there in the streets of Memphis. You know, the when you're talking to the clients out there, how you practice your best business practices out there. Okay, there's a difference in running Grubhub if it's a single app versus when you do it as a multi-app. I used to do it as a multi-app, okay? And the things that I did as a multi-app back then was a whole lot different than the way I'm doing it now. I wasn't running Grubhub full time. I'm running it full time now. I have to do things a whole lot different, ladies and gentlemen, than I used to. Base pay. Let's go ahead and talk about that. We'll get with you. We kind of figure out who you are, but we'll get with you later in your comments right now. The most important thing right now is, I see what you're saying, but the most important thing right now is for me to go ahead and share my experience right now. And this is what I'm going to say to everyone that tries to critique other content creators. You shouldn't do it if you're going to be negative about it. This ain't taking shots. I've been seeing a lot of content out there, and a lot of content creators really don't know the right way to collaborate with other content creators. You know, so be mindful when you doing reaction videos and reviews to make sure you collaborate with the information that you have and the content creator that you're supposed to give a salute to. Let that be food for thought. Now, how can I tell you, if I never walked a mile in your shoes, how can I tell you about your journey? Think about that for a minute. I said something right there. So if I haven't walked a mile in your shoes, how can I tell you about your journey? Yeah, that blew minds like landmines. All right, so when I do reviews now, reactions now, I want to do a salute to the content creator. I may not do their whole video. I don't have to. All I got to do is the key points that intrigue my attention on providing information with drivers that resonate with how we can level up our game in the community. All right, let me give you an example for a minute. When you got people that hate against you, they don't want to see you succeed. That's everywhere and everything in the world that we go through. And then we're going to talk about what I'm getting ready to talk about. Got a few minutes left. I used to do home improvement. It's a cutthroat world. You put bids, other people put bids, they find out you put bids, they know how you bid, they try to underbid you, they get the contract, and later on they do the add-on, make that money, as long as they made sure you didn't get the contract, right? That's the way it is in our world. You got to know how to navigate through all of that cutthroat stuff that goes on. What is on social media, what is in real life. Social media is still real life. People don't think it is because it affects the people of motor spirit. Okay, so I want to be able to let people know. But how can I tell viewers about another content creator situation if I hadn't walked a mile in their shoes. So how can I tell you about their journey? And I've never done that. Now, if I'm in them streets like that content creator, it's going to be some things I can be able to relate with, resonate with, speak on, agree on. Now, what is the informative value of those two experiences that you're collaborating with that might help the newer viewers that come on these channels? That's the thing. That's the goal, the mission we need to get at. I talked about customer service, ladies and gentlemen. Reason why I was telling you about, I did home improvement, how I got them contracts back then, ladies and gentlemen, talking to, the VIP board and the director of operations. I used to go to SCORE to find out who were the CEOs of different organizations, became a member, talked to them. There it is. Somebody, that's going to help somebody. I guarantee it. All right. So we get out here, we help people. We talk to people. I might talk to a company. I don't have that transit vein. I may know a married couple that's an ideal fit to do business with that client. Or somebody that got a box truck. I know the guy. I can make money in Little Rock. In the midnight hour, leave out from 11 and get back here at 5 or 6. At the earliest, at the latest 7 a.m., make that $200. Pick up a load here, take it to Little Rock, drop it off, pick up a load in Little Rock, bring it right back here in Memphis. I helped the driver that had that box truck that was looking for something like that, pass that information on. I didn't have that box truck. All right, so he doing well in that. He done got other gigs because of the connection that he met, to where he was making $150, $180, 5 days a week, to making $800 a day, five days a week. Gotta learn how to level up, ladies and gentlemen. We need to stop burning bridges out here. That's why you see, let me go back to it. That's why you see, ladies and gentlemen, they don't want to move. They don't want to move from it now. There we go, going to bounce out of it. But at the beginning of my thumbnail, you see bridging the gap. Learning how to bridge the gap among customers, drivers, and merchants is going to help maximize your earnings. It's going to turn you on to general opportunities to make more money. Opportunities to where you can land contracts or better money opportunity potentials that you didn't have before. That's why I talk about customer service the way I do. That's why I talk about better business etiquette. Quality customer service is the experience that you give as a driver to your client. That's how you keep getting repeated clients. Repeated clients pays your salary. Or do you want to still be stuck in frame 1 or level 1? Or do you want to progress and proceed on to level 2? Or do you want to progress and proceed on to level 3? Or do you just want to be stuck in level 1? Sometimes, I'm not talking down on people about this. Sometimes we get stuck due to our circumstance, due to our situation. I'm not talking to those people that's trying to come back from a setback. You got to come back from a setback first. Then you do your level 1 thing. Then when you can afford to move to level 2, you're going to do that. I'm not going to talk down on them people. Okay, I've had setbacks every other year or every year. Okay, those setbacks will put you in a level one. You will be stuck in level one too. The thing is the mindset after that. How strong is your mind? How strong you ready to move forward? How strong are you willing to keep on going? All right, let's go ahead and do this. Time winding down. You got some good information there. Whoever this guy is, we acknowledge it later. We're just not going to acknowledge it right now. Let's go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. Let's do this here. Let me go to some screenshots. All right. Make sure I go to the right one. All right. This was a screenshot I need to look at here. I hope that you can see it. It's kind of tough right there. Too much. There it is. You can see, you can kind of see it right there. All right. Delivery pay was more than the tips. No contribution pay, no adjustment pay, but mission pay of $28. All right. At that time, that was on a Saturday. Sunday, I made it over the hump. 38.5 hours, over $700. All right. That's halfway okay here in the city of Memphis. I didn't do it as a pro or premier, it was a partner. So I was down at the bottom of the barrel, going in areas nobody else going in, receiving orders, navigating them orders, making it work for me. We had 30 mission pay. I told Grubhub, if you want to get these drivers to take these orders out of the region, you're going to have to raise base pay, bonus pay, going to have to do better about mission pay. You still got to do better about mission pay. I tried to find one of my worst orders I received. All right, let's blow this up. So I had a whole slew of orders. All right, like this, mission pay. Then you see it said mission starting, $4 for 2 orders without skipping in it. Some of those was easy to get. But there are times out there they weren't easy to get. What time did I need to get there? At the 7 o'clock hour to 7:59. All right, I get a notification at 7:10, and then 7:35 I get an order. You already know I'm not going to get ready to complete that mission, right? Or I get a short distance order. Then they throw me a long distance order. Okay, long distance order, even though I get it, I got to complete it before 7:59. And if I don't complete it before 7:59, I don't get that extra $4 or $2 per order. I'm telling you what I'm experiencing with the mission. Grubhub, you're going to have to do better on the missions pay. I don't know what it is you guys doing, but if you think that you're going to be able to fulfill a whole lot of those long distance orders that your client doing at nighttime, they're not finna get fulfilled. That's not enough money to convince them to do it. And I'm advising them not to do it. We're in business to make money. We're not in business to pay the platform to try to make money. Okay. That's what I want to put out there right now. Okay. Let me go to, I'm trying to find the worst order, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of my worst orders. This is the worst of the worst that I could find. And I'm showing the worst of the worst so we learn something from it. All right. That was yesterday, right? No, that was on last week. All right. The details we need to be paying attention to. I'm gonna do it like this so you can really see it. I'm gonna slide the screen a little bit this way so you can see that. All right, let's talk about that right there. $13.19 for 14.1 mile. That was leading me in the area I knew was going to start jumping off. Cause I knew it was going to be a high volume of orders. So that was a reverse order I could navigate and make money out of. Right? Okay, $7.06 base pay. I said they got to raise it. Bonus was $6.13. No tip. Even though they raised it, they could have done better because that's less than $1 a mile. 99.9% of your drivers is not going to take that order Grubhub. It's not worth their while. And a lot of drivers ain't gonna go in that neighborhood. Certain neighborhood drivers not gonna go to. You gonna have to give them more money to go in them neighborhoods. Okay. If you want these orders fulfilled, or you're gonna have to cancel these orders. All right. All right, I'm giving an example. Last Wednesday. Let's see how far can I go. We're gonna do the morning shift. It's hard to make money on the morning shift on Mondays and Tuesdays in my market. All right, we're gonna show that I didn't do nothing but 2 orders. And I want to say 9 o'clock, 7:30, that's an hour and a half. Hour and a half. I got an order at 7:46. And got a mission pay with that. Let me make sure I'm reading it right. I'm reading it wrong. 7:46 to 8:50. That's 1 hour, ain't it? 8:59, I was able to get that mission pay. I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna show it to you, blow the screen up a little bit. Hope you can see that right there. All the way up to you. Trying to get that. There it is. There it is. You ought to be able to see it now. I got to do it at an angle like that there so the camera can focus in. It's focusing in, it's focusing out. All right. Bojangles order was $13.68. It was a long distance order. It wasn't a reverse order, but it was a long distance order. That led me to the area to get a rise and biscuit order for $5.27. That puts us at $18 and some odd cent. All right, I cashed out. I cash out after each shift so I can be able to go back and look at a historical data, find out did I make the right decisions or the wrong decisions in that geographic area where I'm shopping for orders in that marketplace. This is how I do it. I'm not telling you to do what I do, but this is how I do it. And it might help other drivers. That's the suggestion. Okay. Especially in a super saturated market like mine, where there's 4 times the drivers versus the orders, right? Okay. I made it bigger, much more bigger, hoping you can see it when I angle it that way. You see the rise and biscuit, right? And you see the Bojangles, right? You see the mission pay, right? All right. There's the times that are there. 7:46, 8:50, 8:59 is the expiration date for the mission pay. I made it in time to get that $4 mission pay that you see right there. All right. So it made it $2 per order. The total for that was $22.45, ladies and gentlemen, for 1 hour. There's many ways that you can maximize your earnings 20 plus an hour. But you have to do the best you can with the circumstances you have in your marketplace with better decision making on how you can milk it. In my market as a premier driver, the low end is from $9 to $12 an hour. $9 to $12 an hour. That's the lowest end of being on the partner tier. Midway is $13 to $15 per hour. High end pay for partners is $17 to $19 an hour. And if you can squeeze 19 plus, you're doing great for a partner driver. Get what I'm saying? You got to know what your pay rate scale is for each tier on Grubhub in your market. Now, once you figure out the mathematical calculations in your market, what your pay rate scale is in your market at partner level, that's going to be realistic to you in making that money on that platform. Same goes for pro, same goes for premier. But you're going to have to look at your market different than you've been looking at it. A lot of the content that you heard in the past, you're going to have to throw that out the window for 2026. I guarantee it. You're going to have to find ways, ladies and gentlemen, if you still are multi-appers, you're going to have to change the way we multi-app. Hold on. Can I get it going? Hold up. It might. Come on now. I got him for some reason. So I already got him set in. See? We're going to do it there. I want to talk about that. It won't be in today's video. There are content creators that realize that juggling apps back in the days will get you deactivated. A lot of them telling you now that we juggle our apps, but we got to use the stacking your app concept. But we're going to still juggle our orders. Putting it on pause is not stacking your apps. Putting it on pause, you're still juggling your apps because you still got that app active and live. That means you're losing time, and there's a lot of idle time on that app, ladies and gentlemen. That's the difference between juggling and stacking. When you're stacking, you have less idle time. Less idle time is more money on that platform. You got to know how to get stack orders on the platform you're working on. You got to know which platform makes the most money in your market. Pick out the best platforms in your market as a multi-apper and for each shift. That's stacking your apps, but juggling your apps, multi-appers are now trying to use a little bit of the stacking your app concept. The difference is they pausing, not turning off. The reason you got to turn off, I'm not going to reveal that secret, on how you can maximize your earnings is the difference on how you make your money juggling versus stacking. Because if you get the right app stacking, you're going to make more money than you are juggling. That's going to be another challenge on the March Madness challenge. Juggle your apps. I'm going to stack mine, or I'm going to choose a driver that stack their apps. You choose a driver who juggle their apps. We see who's going to make the most money. Valuable information content. Not to embarrass neither one of the drivers, but we searching for content that may help. There will be times you may have to juggle your apps in this market right here. And if I were to juggle my apps, I would use the stacking your app method as a juggler. Drivers are doing it right now. But I won't pause it. I will turn it off. There's a secret why you should turn it off, not pause it. I'm not going to reveal it. You're going to have to find out. When you find out, reach out to me some kind of way and let me know that you found the answer after that. We understand why you said that. See, when you listen to OG drivers that be in these streets each and every day, ladies and gentlemen, that he barely have time to do content because he got family business got to take care of, doctor appointments people got to go to, important business you got to do. You trying to get with other clients, you trying to get close on business deals out here and everything. You're not going to have, I'm talking about my schedule, time to do 2, 3, 4 videos a day. You're not going to have the time because you got a very busy schedule. I be juggling my schedule. And when I juggle my schedule, it don't work. Now I had to figure out how to stack my schedule where I can be able to fit in doing content, fit in taking care of family business, fit in for time for myself, fit in to make money to pay the bills and eat good. And make enough money to try to build net income. That's another topic for another day, for another show. I'm in these streets for real. I don't wait to do content when, okay, I'm going to be out there for 2 hours, take a few screenshots and everything, edit it and all of this. Boom. Now I can do that. That's the only time I go out there is to do a little content. No, this is what I do for a living. When I'm out there in them streets. Huck Smash and said, man, I don't even know how you do your schedule. I can't even process and even imagine how you able to do it the way you do it and you survive. I have good days, I have bad days. But I'm beginning to learn how to make them bad days work. Reason why I'm doing content today, because it ain't gonna be enough money for me to make today anyway in the morning. I might as well go do content. I can't make at least $30 an hour and a half or 2 hours. I'm wasting my time on the morning shift. That's why I'm doing content today. See, I can use my valuable time doing something else than to go out there and pay the platform money for me to make money when I'm not making money. I hope I'm making sense to you. Look at your historical data that is in the earning tab. Study that bad boy. You're going to find some pros and cons in the decisions that you made on how you made money that day. Do you know how many restaurants that you go to during the week? Okay. How many restaurants did you go back on a repeated basis? Is it making you money or is you losing money going to them places? Ladies and gentlemen, this is OG information, veteran information that I'm giving to you. And people that can give you that kind of information can't give it to you if they ain't been out in them streets, going through trial and error, trying to understand why I'm not making money, but I'm making money, but I'm not making a profit. I have learned to stop complaining about tips, ladies and gentlemen, a long time ago. Complaining about tips when putting tips in my pocket. All right, let me give you an example. Hook Smash was, we were doing ride alongs together. I got an order. I said, wow, I'm going to take it because it's taking me in the area where I need to go. I know it's going to be money popping off soon over there. I'm going to take this order. But it's not a tip. Look at the customer name, and I was stunned because I know this customer tipped. The question is, why did this customer stop tipping? That's the question. So as I'm looking through this thing and I'm conversating with Hook Smash and I'm getting ready to do the delivery, I said, this customer usually tip $2 to $3. This customer changed from tipping to I want a pin code. This customer, I could go take a picture, snapshot. I do all of my due diligence and get in touch with the customer, letting them know how long I'll be at the restaurant, when I leave in the restaurant, what time I'm gonna arrive to their home. Boom, I go there, take the picture, I salute them and move on. That customer missed having me as a driver. So I'm talking to Hook Smash. I'm dropping the delivery off. I said, I don't blame this customer for asking for a PIN code because drivers are not taking care of the customers like they used to. So I understand as a customer, if that was me, I would be wanting a PIN code. I knew the customer heard me. Went down in the vehicle. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show it here, but I took a screenshot. It's probably on his comment section. It's on his comment section. And as I was talking to him, I said, let me tell you something, brother. This customer usually tip $3. No, I don't have it here. It's in the text message between me and him. Soon as I said it, boom. Grubhub congratulated me for a good job. Boom, $3 tip. I sent it to Hook Smash right then and there. Got to change your attitude, ladies and gentlemen. Complaining about not getting any tips, not gonna put no money in your pocket. You got to figure out ways, creative ways, how to earn them tips. You got to understand there are drivers messing it up out here in the market. But if you had repeated clientele content creators, you would already know this here. This is the message for you. It's not calling cap on any of you, but this is the message for you. That's the reason why real OG drivers know those that be out here in the streets making a living doing this business versus making a living on YouTube. That's the difference, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get in these streets and give the best content we ever could give due to the experience in these streets. It's all right to share information on Reddit and get information and do content off of it. It's okay. Don't just get out here in the streets every now and then thinking that's validation to your content. Let's give our viewers what they deserve. Realism. Okay, there's a lot of problems going on with these apps I would love to address. I would love to collaborate with content creators, and I will be collaborating with you. We got to get the message out there. I ain't got to knock on the door to collaborate with you. You can be the Grand Slam of the Week collaboration. And I will salute you like I have done many before. Got to get the message across. My question, I got a lot of questions about this Doordash Roundtable meeting that happened in California, the things that we did not know happened behind the scenes. There was questions asked, ladies and gentlemen, in that meeting that was not put in these videos that we are seeing. Wait, watch, and see in the up and coming weeks. This is my proof. Correct me if I'm wrong. I hadn't seen what I've seen in the past. At the end of the year, people talking about content, the future of these gig apps in the next following year. I wonder why. Why is that? Because things were said in that meeting, ladies and gentlemen, only those that was there know what's actually happening. They will be putting that content out, though. I guarantee it. You know, when I said I guarantee it, it goes down. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get ready to go because I'm running late. I should have been gone. But think about the things that I said now in this video here. Watch, wait, listen, and you will see what I'm talking about. Peace, take care. We see you in the next video. Just before I do that, let me bag out of it. I need to look at something right quick. Because I did promise this young man, whoever he is, whoever she is, whether they're a troll or not, they're still a human being. That doesn't matter if they're a troll or not. Let me see what's been said, what messages have been put in the live chat here. We only know our markets to see what's going on with the gig work. That's true. I've been multi-apping for years now to make the best money while I'm out doing this full time. Yes, I agree to that. Low ball orders I see daily. Yes, everybody see low ball orders daily in their market. Thank you for telling the truth. I'm in the Los Angeles market. Okay. Grubhub is not really active in my area compared to Doordash, Uber Eats. Okay. I kind of know what type of drivers that's there that utilize those apps in that market. I used to have ride-alongs with drivers in the California area, in the southern area there. They did them apps. They made it work for them. That's how they make their money. They went on Deliver That. They went on Expedite. They wasn't on Skip Cart. They wasn't on Zifty. Okay. Making those drivers that I interacted with back then was making money. They're still making money today. Walmart Spark is making a lot of folks some money. There are drivers that can make $300, $400, $500 on Walmart Spark in certain markets. That's what I mean about getting your best apps, your best paying apps. When you're multi-apping, get all the best go-getters, and you stack your apps, you're going to make more money than juggling your apps. That's why I said that, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody in this comment section already been doing that. Okay. Good morning, fellow gig worker. Like I said, whoever he is, he or she, he reminds me of drivers I used to deal with when we used to do ride-alongs. That's what they did. Okay. They made their money. Drivers in Texas did the same thing that I used to mess around with. They made their money. You know, there's ways you got to move from that level to the next level. What I say to those drivers there, how many clients do you do business with? You know what I'm getting ready to say. That you have control of your own contract. Time to go to the next level. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we get ready to get out of here. Those that's looking at this video, I hope you got some value out of it. I give you grassroots type presentations. You know, I articulate a little different than other people. If you don't understand my video, get Google AI, Gemini AI, let it summarize to you what you didn't understand about this video. Thank you once again. Happy holidays. Peace. Take care. We'll see you in the next video.